following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbb-radio.com.
Hey guys, we're on location today. Welcome to Tee It Up with Phil and Cindy.
Tee it up.
We're here with Richie.
Welcome
Richie!
to Lewiston Estates Antiques.
It's good to see you.
Look at this place.
Pleasure,
Oh
pleasure.
my gosh,
Yes.
it's absolutely gorgeous.
We got lots of
Where do we
treasures.
start?
Let's sit down and have a little conversation. Hi, as I said, Cindy and I are on location.
So excited.
Wonderful.
on
It's a
location.
Christmas location.
Yep.
We're here at Lewiston Estates and Antiques with Richie Pies.
Richie.
Hi, Rich. How are you?
How are you? It's good. How you
So
doing
excited to be here.
today? Yes.
Never step foot in here, and let me tell you, I am obsessed.
It is a treasure trove
Holy moly, it sure is.
of things that you should come down and just explore,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely, absolutely. We got the treasures.
So excited. I have to tell you that Richie is a former student of mine
Yes.
at Lewiston Porter Central School.
Absolutely.
He was a very good student. Yes, he was, and here he is.
Good times.
So proud of him right now because this store is absolutely phenomenal.
It is very unique, and it is something that I guess people need to know it's here. And like I walked through it the other day when we were doing a little promo for small business with the chamber, and it is just a really nice store. So tell us, how did you get started?
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. So I always had, a certain love for older things. I love the story that certain items can tell you. It's just great to collect, the unusual.
Right.
It's so much better than the modern looking stuff. But
100%.
that's just my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But my family always had a love for antiques and vintage stuff. My grandma, I had relatives in Pennsylvania. They always just had cool and eclectic things that I just always was interested in since I was little. So one day I decided to bring a box of things over to the Country Doctor Antiques, which was a former antique store in Lewiston. They were there for about 35
Yeah, I
years.
remember
I'd say.
that,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Ran by wonderful people. So I actually started off there as a vendor in one of the booths.
Wow.
I went in, I tried to sell some stuff, and they're like, "Oh, we got a booth open in the back. You want to, try it out?" So I thought about it for a minute, and I go, "Ah, sure, why not?" So I was there for about 2 years, and it just was great. I loved what I was selling. I loved meeting the people and seeing their excitement when they got to find that certain item they loved.
Yeah.
So I was there for about 2 years, and then the people who ran it retired. So I was looking for a new location, and all of a sudden this one just kind of fell into my lap, and I thought, why not? Let's get it back going again.
And what year was that? What year did you open here?
August 1st in 2023, we reopened.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah.
So what was
been
this
about
prior to?
So this was, it used to be a couple different businesses. It was a restaurant at one time, but actually this building has a lot of history. It was built in 75, 70s or something.
Wow.
And it was called the Kelsey Tavern. And it was a place where, the locals would have, certain galas and stuff. There was a ballroom. A lot of military officials came and stayed here during
Wow.
the wars and stuff. And it was just like a little local hotel.
It is such an absolutely gorgeous place, for sure, on the outside and inside.
Oh, yes.
So now, when you walk in here, there's just so much to look at. You have to have time because you could be here for, like I said, I could be here like for days.
Yeah.
But who sells? It's not just you selling stuff. How does that work in here?
Correct. So we are a co-op. So we have about 8 different vendors in here. We each have our own section. And it's really a great thing because it, kind of takes the workload off of one person. We all split the work days. We all have our own unique items, and it's nice to have a different genre of looks other than one person having their own aesthetic. So we kind of do really well with mingling each other's things together, and it's a lot more hands, more heads than one are better.
So if you have something like an antique that you think would be sellable, can you come in here and then you look at it and then you appraise it?
Absolutely,
Wow.
yes. Or we can even go out to your house
Wow.
and take a look at things that you have. We do a lot of buying, obviously. We don't really do consignment, but we will purchase items from you or your home and, put them here at the store. And we also hold at-home estate sales. So if somebody, needs an entire contents of a property liquidated, we do that.
Wow.
So you guys will come out and do that, and
Yep.
and do the sale for them at their
Absolutely.
property.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That's
yep.
really interesting to do that.
So tell us, what are some like? I assume you go out to garage sales,
Yeah.
estate sales, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a piece where you walk in and you go, holy whoa, and it's like 10 cents or a dollar, and you're like sweating. You're like sweating. I gotta get it.
Yeah.
Has there ever? Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So I collect uranium glass, which is a type of depression glass that was made during the 1800s and 1900s, and it actually has uranium in the glass.
Wow.
It gives it a green hue, and when you hit it with a black light, it actually glows under black light. So usually at garage sales and, like you said, little thrift sales,
Yeah.
you find that stuff marked very cheap. And it's the thrill of finding
Yeah,
it. 'Cause you're
yeah.
like, oh my God.
That's the green. That's the greenish.
Yes.
Because I've seen that. I think my mom's got a piece
Yeah,
of it,
probably.
Richie.
But that's stuff that either people just don't realize it because
Right.
someone's passed on,
Yes.
or they just want to get rid of it. Or,
Yeah,
Exactly,
they just
exactly.
don't know, maybe, right?
Yes,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And we try to educate our customers, when we go and look at things, we don't say, oh, I'm going to pay $2 for that.
Yeah.
We tell you the value and what it is, and then we usually pay half of that. Because, we have
See,
to...
that's why he was my favorite student. Oh, that is so
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
Are you dating yourself?
I'm dating myself.
Richie.
Yeah,
And
I'm very
Richie.
old. Richie's very young. I'm very
know.
old. But that's a really nice thing to do because
Yes.
I would imagine some people don't do that.
Right, yes.
You never
So-
found like a Declaration of Independence later on. did you?
No, I've never found anything that crazy.
Anything related to Lewiston history that
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Walked through and said, "Hey, this is from 1814."
Yes. Yes. As a matter of fact, we just had an estate sale, I'd say about a month or two ago, and there was this painting of some sort of colonel or general, and we didn't really know who he was. So the Lewiston historian, Russ Piper, actually took the painting, and he cleaned it up and he did some research and found out that it was his name was Major Adams, and he fought in the War of 1812, and the painting is now hanging at Fort Niagara.
And
in there.
he's British or American soldier.
He was an American soldier.
Wow. And the people had no idea.
And yeah, they had no idea. It was
that-
just, yeah.
Well, the thing with, like you said about this, do you ever see any ghosts down here? Any drunk ghosts like banging around?
Oh, yeah, there's
Like,
some stories.
Like all of
and
a sudden,
stuff. There's some
something
soldiers.
falls and breaks and no
Yes,
one's
ghost
around.
stories.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
tavern ghost.
Right, yeah.
It's not me, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, no.
Rich
there's-
scares us. Or Rich.
But-
I'm gonna tee it up with Phil. Phil, Rich is behind the camera.
Yeah.
Phil does scary sometimes, though, Rich. Yeah.
But I was going to ask the question, because Lewiston is so historic, or this whole Niagara Frontier.
Oh, yeah.
And I know, from the Frontier House, there's another house that down the street with a basement they used to use for the Underground Railroad
Yes.
and things like that.
Yes.
And they've found cannonballs and things like that all over that you've come across things like that. It's got to be the most interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And you're fine. You must be like, oh my God, X marks the spot. That's a
Yes.
treasure.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of that stuff that you find in houses, it's people that have dug them up from their property. And they just, throw it in their basement and stuff because this area is so rich in history and the wars that happened here. Almost every building has its own ghost story in Lewiston.
Did you ever find anything in this actual, like, is there a basement in here? Like, did you ever find anything that was left here that was like, whoa?
Right. No, because it has been, the building has been here for so long.
okay,
and it's
yeah.
gone through multiple owners.
Yeah.
Most of the original items from the building have been sold off years ago. The original side is actually over on the left here, and that still has all of its beautiful woodwork. The staircase, it has gorgeous stained glass windows that are all original from the.
It's in the
tavern.
Century 21.
Yes.
Wow.
Because I know you share this with another business.
Absolutely, yes. We just rent the space here, yeah. And this is actually the add-on that we're in. So this part of the building is only
this was an additional.
an addition.
Wow.
But it was built over the old historic land and the war grounds and stuff. There's a lot of unmarked graves and buried soldiers and Native Americans in this area. So you never know what you're going to find in this.
Ooh.
Right, you do never know what you're
Yeah.
going to find. So
is
tell
so
us about
cool.
some of the things that you find as you go through your store. If I walked in here, what am I going to find? I mean, there's such a variety.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
From crystal to
We're gonna have to have Rich just
To
take a little
little
shot.
teacups.
These
And-
are Lennox
Yeah.
teacups. They're
Why,
so
is that
fabulous.
something really good?
Yes,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
very good.
It's good. The good company.
That's how much
yeah.
I know.
But we'll have Rich maybe take a little scan of everything so
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
because I think from the outside you have I didn't. You have no idea how much stuff
Is hiding.
is hiding, like how much
hidden
treasure
treasure.
is actually in here and how big of a space it really is. So like back to what Phil said, when people walk in here, are they looking, do they ever say, hey Richie, listen, I'm looking for this, or they take their time? What are some things in here that are like
Hot commodities.
like that they
Yeah.
come in and they're like, hey, you know?
Absolutely. So we have that all the time. Almost every day somebody's coming in, I'm looking for this, So that's why we try to have such a wide variety
Yeah.
of items and selection. We've got everything from dishes to lamps to
Yeah.
furniture, home decor,
Right.
jewelry, perfumes. We've
Furs.
got furs, yeah. We've got it all. Primitives. I mean, we try to have it all. So when
Yeah.
that person does come in, hey, I'm looking for this. Oh, it's right over here.
Is there ever a cutoff in a year? Like if someone came in with something from, I don't know, 2000s or something.
Right.
Like are you like, listen, nah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not really for us.
Yes, we try to stick to more of the primitives, antiques, kind of retro style. We don't really deal with like the, like you said, the Pokemon cards. And
Yeah.
collectibles
Okay.
and
Okay.
stuff
So yeah.
like that.
So
But
Absolutely.
like 60s and 70s.
Oh, yeah,
From
yeah,
50s,
yeah.
60s.
Yes.
Because as I'm walking through here, Cindy,
Oh, no, what you
I
got?
told
What?
Richie this the other
What?
day. There are two figurines back here that my mom and dad forever had in the living room.
you gotta show me.
And they are like,
gotta get a picture
I
of
like
that.
looked at
Yes.
them and went,
Yeah, you
are
gotta
you
hold 'em.
kidding me?
Yeah.
And they're like,
I do see a lot of stuff I would see at my
I
grandmother's.
think they're still at the
Oh, yeah.
house.
You know, yeah.
I find the pair, I'm bringing them here.
You gotta come to see Richie.
Yeah.
You might be able to go to Hawaii or something.
No,
Yeah,
they,
you
believe
know,
me,
they're treasure.
they weren't that expensive. But,
Yes.
And but as I'm walking through, I go,
It's definitely a super cool place.
Yeah.
it's like my house is from the '60s.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah.
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 And that's another thing too. That's why a lot of our items, they don't last long on the shelf, certain things, because people come in, they get that nostalgic feeling. Oh, my grandma had that, I've got to have it. When
Right,
you're
yeah.
younger, you don't really
Yeah.
appreciate that
No,
stuff. You're
you
like,
don't.
oh, that's junk.
Yeah.
And then as you get older and, family members pass and stuff,
Right.
you like to reminisce on those times.
But
and-
people do look at it as, oh, it's just junk,
Yeah.
but it really,
But it's always
really
someone else's
isn't.
treasure.
That's right.
I know Tina, who's behind the counter today, and you're open right now, so we're doing the show as you're
Live.
open.
Yeah,
So again,
yeah.
if you're come down to Lewiston, it's small business. You got to support those small
Yeah.
businesses.
Absolutely.
So, but Tina was telling me that exact story about the lamps, and she said these lamps. My mother, somebody came in and said my mother had these lamps and she had put them up over there.
Yes.
and they wanted
And they-
them so bad.
Yeah, and they sold almost right away.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Well, in the mirrors, and I mean, there's just so much to talk about.
Well, there-
and two, I do notice a lot of Christmas stuff, of
Mm-hmm.
holiday stuff. So I would imagine that some people will come in looking for that unique gift, not
Yes.
just like a tart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that someone's going to open and go, oh, like I'm looking
can't
at this
believe
little doll right now moving.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's got a little candle. She's
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
Tell us about people that come in during the holiday times. What is there in here for them, and what are they looking for?
Yeah. So a lot of people do come in for that unique gift, for that certain loved one.
Yeah.
And we have everything from vintage Christmas. A lot of people love that.
Yeah.
We just had Shop Small on Saturday, and we had about 5 or 6 of those ceramic Christmas trees that your grandma
Oh
used
my
to
God,
make in
my
pottery class.
mother made those. It's ceramics.
So-
and they broke. And I love them. Those are a classic.
They are.
Wait, do you have any more left?
No, because they all sold. We sold them all on Shop Small.
I'm
there
obsessed
there's
with
certain
those.
things that go quick. And like you said, it's better to buy. I like to buy something that someone's going to remember and
Yeah.
they're going to hold on to.
Right.
And if they've never seen it before.
Right.
Or we sell gift cards. Some people come in and they say,
Ooh.
I need a $50 gift
Yeah.
card. Let them pick out their
Oh
own
my
treasure.
God, what a great idea. But I was looking around and I see so much holiday stuff that if you're looking for something different, Phil, if you're looking to get me a gift that's something different, you definitely should come down here because I'm looking around, and when I was looking around earlier, I see some really, really neat and interesting stuff. Like if you were going to give somebody, they would be like, I finally like a gift that you gave me, kind of thing.
Well,
you know?
and that's one thing I like to do is I like to walk around and find very unique things for people. Now, let me ask you this: as we're in the Christmas season, and the Christmas walk is coming up.
That's right. Next
Another
weekend.
week.
And what's the date on that?
That's the 5th and 6th.
and 7th is because the 7th is the Christmas parade.
So is it Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Sunday, yep.
Okay, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's coming up this
Christmas
week,
walk.
this weekend,
Yeah, it's coming up this
Lewiston.
week.
this weekend, Lewiston, New York.
So we walk in the door, and obviously, what people are going to see are the Santa Clauses. But do things change as your holiday? Obviously,
Oh,
it must
yeah.
change, and you redo things for the
Yes.
different holidays. Right?
Absolutely, yeah. Halloween's a big thing in Lewiston as well. We do the trick or treat on Center Street.
Oh.
So we actually close the street down. We decorate with all the cool,
Just
monsters
beautiful.
and stuff. So that was a big hit this year.
Yeah.
And people love the fall stuff. And like you said, switching over to Christmas, we try to clear some of the shelves of maybe stuff that isn't really selling, so we
Yeah.
can make room for the collectibles. And Waterford crystal is very popular, so we have a bunch of crystal trees left.
Wow.
We have some Swarovski crystal, just certain special things that you find in the department stores, but you might get a better deal here.
Oh,
I'm sure you get a
right.
better
I
deal
love
here.
that.
And you always have a unique story when you get that better deal too.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
comes
So
with
that's
the
why
story.
you come to
Yeah.
your store.
Yep, comes with the story.
and if you've never been to Lewiston, this weekend would be the time to
yeah.
come. If you're taking pictures, if you're shopping, you're
Kids.
looking
Yeah,
kids.
kids things,
I mean, there is so much to do here. I'm sure Santa Claus is going to be here.
Yep.
All the different places have opportunities to stop and shop, and everybody is so nice here. That's why I live here.
Yeah. And Lewiston's great. It's not just us on the street. There's so many other amazing stores.
Beautifully
up and down.
decorated.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Stores and restaurants.
Lit up restaurants.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell them if you're listening,
Shop local.
We'll not only
That's
shop
right.
local, but Cindy and I will come to your place and do a show like this.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. By the way, right.
So as I was looking through here at some of the things look a little bit fragile. I was like, I don't even want to touch
I
that.
gotta say,
But
yeah.
like, I saw
walk
some
through.
these tiny Christmas figurines.
Those from the tea?
Yeah.
And
You know what I'm talking about?
like are those like are we looking like in the 40s and like how like very old like
Yeah, some of the older 1940s Christmas, it was made with that old, very delicate plastic. A lot of it was called Bakelite. It's a very thin type of plastic, but that's how they were able to cast those little figures and stuff. A lot of that stuff is more collectible because of how fragile it is. It breaks very easily. So to have one in its, almost perfect condition is a little bit harder to find.
and
Wow.
have you found stuff through your things have you restored anything that have you found and said, boy, I really want this and,
Yes.
and
Oh, so you do that too?
are taking it places
Wow.
to restore and
Yep,
things
a
like
lot
that?
of things you want to keep as original as you can,
Yeah.
but some things you just, you can't get by it. You have to do a
like
little
a
bit
tear
of
or
a
a
fix.
crack or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, or a little piece of wood's missing. So yeah, we do restorations and cleanups on everything that we bring in. We get a lot of compliments on how clean and nice the store is, and it's
Super
a lot
clean.
of dust.
Yeah, I can't even
I don't
imagine.
know how you do it.
I just blow on my stuff at home.
Like, I'd be afraid to do it, knocking something off one of these shelves or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, and all the vendors, they do a great job too. Wash everything before it comes.
Yeah.
Of course, that's how the customer wants to see it in perfect shape.
So you're not gonna actually restore something because the value would
Is in
go
the
down.
patina.
Right.
It's in the patina. Yeah, something like this, like we would never, you don't want to sand it down. That's other people's styles.
Yeah,
though.
right,
If you want
right.
to paint this table, go right ahead.
Right. But
we
you
would
know
just-
what it's worth.
We would just oil it up and sell it in its
Yeah.
You're
original.
going to clean it.
Yeah, clean it. Right.
But that's
right.
all.
Exactly.
That's all you do.
Yeah.
Because I see so many things in here that, from crystal to brass to.
It's unbelievable in here.
Like, what other
Lamps.
things are we looking at in here? I mean, I
Well,
see
how about
lights
the
and-
jewelry?
Oh,
like
yeah.
me, I love all that like vintage
Yep.
jewelry. I saw some over there. I saw some back there.
Yep.
Tell us about where you get some of those pieces, and do people come in like during the holiday times to get that special piece?
Yeah, we get a lot of people that come in, they bring a whole box of stuff, and they're like, this is my mother's jewelry
yeah.
or something, and nobody in the family wants it.
Wow.
What can we do? So we go through it, and we separate out for them costume, and then if there's any real gold and silver,
Yeah.
to give them the best value. And depending on what type of ring it is or necklace or whatever, we sell it for its vintage or antique value, or a lot of times it goes for its gold or scrap metal value. But we try to keep all the vintage and costume jewelry.
So everything in here, like, because you go to some places and they have jewelry, but it's not really like antique or authentic.
Yeah.
So when you're buying a piece in here, it is.
It is, and you can tell because anywhere you go, when you're buying a real piece of jewelry, it should always be stamped on the inside, whether it's 14 karat, 10 karat,
Right.
sterling. It'll always have that mark. That's how you can tell when you're
How
buying.
do you tell like a regular like a piece of because like I have a lot, like my mom had a lot of pieces of costume jewelry too. How do you tell the year of those?
Oh yeah, so usually by the style of the piece.
Okay.
Like in the 60s, they had a lot of those big brooches
Yeah, yeah,
and all
yeah.
that fun stuff.
Right.
And then as you get into the 60s and 70s, they have kind of the groovy, different colored beaded
Right.
necklaces and stuff. So you can really tell by, and the company too. It's like Sarah Coventry was big in.
My mom
and
still has
Avon,
pieces from
yeah,
Sarah Coventry,
right,
and let me
they're
tell you,
all in
that
the
stuff
70s.
lasts.
Yeah.
I swear to God, my mother's 91 years old, bought it when she was 20, gave it to me. Guess what I did? I broke it. I dropped it and broke. There was like a little piece in there,
Yeah.
but she still has so many because they used to go to parties back then.
Yes,
the
and they would
Sarah
sell it.
Coventry parties.
Yes.
That stuff is the bomb. Let me tell you. So do you have some pieces like that?
Oh
Here?
yeah, we
Oh,
do.
You gotta show me,
yeah,
Richie.
yeah, we got some
Wow.
rings.
Cindy's
So
going to be
you-
shopping after we're done.
You must have such a wide. I mean, I'm just listening to you now, and I'm amazed at the knowledge that you possess of everything. So people just can't come in and sell whatever.
Right.
I mean,
It's got to fall in our category.
yeah, that's really
absolutely.
cool.
Right, because we try to keep everything, as authentic
Yeah,
as it is. We
yeah.
don't really sell a whole lot of. We don't like to sell a lot of reproductions. I mean, you always get one or two, but
Right.
we try to keep the authentic.
Yeah.
Original pieces.
Have you ever had anything come in that was so unique or something you were like, all right, you got to leave this for a few days. We have to research it.
Oh yeah, that has happened a couple times.
Yeah.
Usually with a lot of paintings, people want to know the history on the painting, the history on the artist, and a lot of them are tricky because there's so many artists. in the
Yeah.
world.
How would you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do get a couple things where you're like, okay, I gotta call a couple people and figure this out.
Well, because you must look at the backing of it.
Yeah.
And the material, obviously. I mean, not that I know anything, but obviously it could have been framed over and over.
Yes.
So somebody could bring, if they think they have something, a treasure,
Yeah.
they could bring it in, and you can guide them in that
Yes.
direction, maybe where to go, or
Absolutely,
maybe you could do
yeah.
it yourself here.
Yeah. Even if you don't want to sell the item, don't be afraid to bring it in and say, hey, this was my grandma's. I'm just wondering what might it be worth one day or something. And, we can try our best to give you what we know.
So if you have something, Oh gosh, I
Bring
gotta
it
come
on
back.
in.
Come back
So
and
they'll-
Richie.
you'll appraise it for them.
Yeah,
we'll praise it
wow.
for 'em. And sometimes they might say, "Oh man, all right, well, I'll sell it right now."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Have you had anything that came in and you just said, listen, this is really valuable. You need to hold this and maybe get it insured or anything like that?
Yeah, we have had a couple items where it's almost auction worthy. You know,
Wow.
you're not really going to get the price in a store.
Right.
You know, you get lucky sometimes, but usually people aren't coming in spending $5,000-$6,000 on something.
Right,
so
right.
that stuff usually has to get sent to an auction house, which we refer people to.
Wow.
You know, a couple places in Buffalo, or you know, if we can think that we can sell it, we can put it on consignment for them. We do sell a lot of consignment. Actually, these beautiful chandeliers
They're
right above our heads.
Beautiful.
Those came from a local, very popular family in Niagara Falls,
Wow.
and we had them on consignment, and now they're on their way to a beautiful home in Buffalo.
Wow.
So
They
yeah.
are beautiful.
They're
Yeah.
amazing.
I didn't even, I didn't notice it until you said.
Yeah, right,
I,
right. So
I'm every inch of this store
Everything.
something.
There's
It's
something.
got
there's
something in
blank
it,
Yeah.
from floor to ceiling.
yes,
You know what? I have to tell
right,
you.
that's right.
What strikes me most is the honesty, because I think a lot of people, you know, go to places and, you know, some people don't want to give away the tell
they
that
feel they might
it's
get ripped
worth,
off.
you know, that it's worth a lot of money. And I'm hearing from you that if it is, you're gonna, you know, it might have to go to auction. And I think people really appreciate it. And I think that's what Lewiston is all about.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's
Like-
what small businesses are
That's
about, is
exactly,
business owners.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, that means a lot to families.
Yes.
You know, especially if your loved one is gone and,
Yeah.
you know, you're trying to get a fair price or you're
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to find out where it is. And you can come here right to Richie's and get that and know that you're getting an honest opinion.
Yeah.
And I think that really, it means a lot. It would mean a lot to me.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it means a lot to a lot of people that you're walking in somewhere where you have faith in them.
Yeah, we love Lewiston. It's a
Yeah.
very helping hand community. You know,
Sure is.
almost everybody knows everybody.
Yes, they
in
do.
Lewiston, so you know, it's great to be
I
able to
remember
help.
Tina behind the counter there.
Yeah, right, exactly. Right when you walked in,
Yes,
you knew Tina.
yes.
Yeah, so it's great to be in Lewiston, and you know, our customers are great. Like you said, it's awesome to know people, to build that trust.
Yeah, 100%.
To have that faith. That's why we love to do our estate sales, because a lot of families, they have no idea what to do with
Yeah,
the items.
yeah.
They have expenses. They need to maybe do some maintenance on the house before they sell it.
Yeah.
So to hold an estate sale, you know, it gets you the best value for your items. You know that they're all going to a loved home.
Right.
And then, you know, you have a little bit of help selling the house and stuff if you need money to fall back
So
on.
do people, if they are having, and I've never been to an estate sale,
Mm-hmm.
but I imagine they're fabulous. But what if someone is going to sell, whether it's, you know, their
Mm-hmm.
mom or dad or whoever, they could actually just call here,
Yep.
and then you'll guide them.
We go out and do a free estimate. We go through the entire house.
Wow.
We let them know if it's enough for an estate sale or not. And then we guide them through what we do, you know, the setup, everything. All they have to do is collect their personal items and walk on out. And we do the full clean, you know, the setup, cleaning items. Pricing.
Wow.
Every item gets priced.
Wow.
Yeah, we do the whole, and then we run like a 3-day estate sale.
Because I imagine that's pretty stressful for people, and you're completely
Yeah.
taking that stress off of them.
Exactly. They don't have to worry
Holy
about
moly.
anything.
And then whatever's left over, you take?
Either we sell on consignment, or I'll purchase, you know, a lot of the things that are
'Cause you
left.
can't take everything.
You can't take
Right.
it all, and there's always stuff left. So usually we have people come in that either donate or clean out companies that have to come in and do the clean out.
Well,
Right.
let me go back a little bit. When you first started this store, because there is a lot in here. There's a lot, like Cindy said. You,
Everywhere you look.
Yeah.
you can walk around and-
Every
and
inch.
it-
Days.
Spend it out,
Days.
yeah, no,
You
seriously.
spend a lot of time in here. When you walked in 2023,
Yeah.
did you have one box, two boxes?
Yeah,
and
right.
just start from there?
A little
It
wagon,
was- yeah, right,
pulling from
walking
one
in
to
behind
another.
me, yes,
So,
yes.
like, you're walking in and you're saying, wow.
Yeah,
And did it fill up quickly at that point?
Yes, because we did have a very strong support from the community when we opened. Very grateful. So we did have a lot of people coming in selling stuff. You know, we had our first couple of estate sales. But yeah, when we did first open, it was a little, you know, more sparse looking, sparse looking.
Yeah.
So it filled up kind of quick, but like you said, we have to be very selective. You know,
Right.
we don't just throw everything and anything in here.
Yeah, and you can tell.
Keep it eclectic.
You don't just throw. I mean, I've been a couple places where,
Yeah.
you know, you could just tell it's like
Right. Yeah.
they're selling candy over there. And
Yeah.
So now so you've been here 2 years now.
Yes.
Okay, you've been here 2 years now. What is the future? What do you see for the future of this place? Antiques.
Yeah.
You know, like the people coming in.
Yes.
Right? Like, you know, what do you
Yeah.
see for the future here?
Stuff is always changing. We hope to be here for as long as
Yeah.
you know, I keep the place running.
Yeah.
So you know, we hope to be a long-standing business in
Yeah.
Lewiston, and stuff is always changing. Stuff goes in and out of style all the time. So that's why you kind of have to stay with the with whatever's selling. You got to stay within the market. One day something's worth $25, and then in 10 years you can't give it away. You know what I mean?
So
Or something
even a
like that.
couple years it could
Yeah.
change.
Oh,
5 years.
absolutely.
So you got to keep up on that too. Oh my God,
We've
your
seen
knowledge
that
is
here. Yeah, we've
really
seen that here. We've had stuff from the Country Doctor that didn't really sell for much, and now we're selling it for almost double what we could get at the old store.
What's the Country Doctor?
that was our previous store. that
Oh,
was in
okay,
Lewiston.
okay.
What?
That's crazy. So
Here's a funny question. What defines an antique? Because like 75 is now
Yeah, that's
50
good.
years
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
and the 80s are 40 some years. I mean,
Yeah.
so you're like,
Yeah.
well, the years that pass by.
we can look at 20s, 30s,
Yes.
40s,
Right,
1940s.
right.
Like those are antiques.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, like the 60s and 70s are
Right.
becoming those 60 and 50 years ago.
Yes. So yeah, you kind of got your stuff that's 100 years old is considered a true, genuine antique. And then when you get more in the the 50s, that was your mid-century stuff.
Right.
There's a lot of so you got your primitives and your stuff from the 1800s, 1700s. Then as you get into the 1900s, well now it's 2025.
Right.
So your stuff from the 1920s is now going to be the true antiques.
Wow.
And then you work your way up to the vintage, retro stuff from like
the retro.
Yeah, stuff from 2000s and 90s. That's your vintage.
Like
That's
those
your
pink
nostalgia.
refrigerators.
Yeah. Oh my God.
From
I'm
the
obsessed.
50s?
Yeah. But
So,
yeah.
do you have anything in here that's 100 years old?
Oh yeah, we have a bunch of stuff.
Really?
Yeah. We have the whole mix. We like to mix it all in.
It's crazy.
I'm trying to think of what's.
It is
there.
just. This is just such a neat place.
You know, and because Cindy and I have done a lot of work in films and things, have you ever had anybody come and ask?
yeah, like on film sets.
We're trying to do a table setting,
Yeah.
and we're doing it from 1925.
Yes, we love doing that. We have had a couple local plays come in,
Yeah.
and ask for certain props, or the Village of Lewiston. You know, we give them a couple of our Christmas props for the street and stuff. So
Oh, wow.
that is something I thought about getting into. Is like you said, props,
especially all the movies that
they
are
need that
coming
stuff.
here
starting
now.
to come here.
Yeah, like all
And-
the Hallmark movies, the American
Although
Great Family.
But you know, anything that is.
Yeah, you can't replicate a true antique if you're trying. to
I
do a
mean, you know how they always
You
look.
could,
they
but-
look for cars.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now try to outfit a house.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're walking into a house from the 19
Right.
like
Yeah.
they did the Panic, and that
Yeah.
was supposed to be
Yes.
1905.
Oh, right.
So you can replicate clothes
Yeah, the
because
vintage clothes.
but to get things that are authentic on the table or
Yeah.
in the house
Yeah.
from that same time period, and you can find them here.
That's right. That's right. We got it all. Yeah.
Oh, that is just wonderful.
So back to the antiques and the price changing. So you have to really keep up to date on that, and then go around and change
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
the prices. Wow.
Right. And we always try to sell a little bit under the market. So,
Yeah.
we hate when people come in, oh, this is on eBay for $10,000. And
Right.
it's like, well.
And sell it on eBay.
Yeah, no,
for
we've sold
$10,000.
it. We've sold it here for
Yeah.
maybe 50 or 100.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to stay with the market and what things are selling for. We do look things up and take prices from the internet, and we always try to go a little bit lower so the customer feels like
so you're getting a good value.
a deal. Yeah.
Small business, right?
Right.
Now, are those, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but are those Hummels?
Yes, those little figures.
Okay,
they
all
are.
right. Now, those I know. Those are
popular.
Yeah, so those are really popular.
Yeah.
People come in for those,
They
or
like
people.
those. And
Those
the
are
Yadros used to be from Spain.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I see Rich behind the camera, Rich Rancho behind the camera, and I see him going like this.
course.
His eyes are just, he has not stopped looking around here. There's so much to look at. It is just so cool. I love the mirrors. I love the lamps. I need to go back there. I haven't been back there yet.
hidden room.
I
You
love
know-
the jewelry, the fur.
As we sit here in 2025 and looking at 2026 and how technology has taken over the world,
Yes.
it is a step back, and you walk in here and
But that's what I love.
and that's what's so unique and so
Yes.
fun about it is you
Yeah.
find things that technology hasn't touched, or it was the technology of the day.
Yes.
And that's the uniqueness of these pieces in here.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's why the store is wonderful. I mean, I was looking at a couple of cameras back here.
Oh, yeah, they have
And
cameras.
just I know exactly a person that would love one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what you find here.
Yeah.
Is the technology of that day, and the uniqueness of pieces that, like you said, your mother or your grandmother or maybe your great grandparents
Yes.
had when they either were here or came to this country.
Yeah. And to them, it was a great treasure because it was the new thing. It
Right,
was,
right.
It was
Right.
the new Victrola record
Right.
player, you know, with the crank that everyone
Like
would
the
sit
Labubu's
around.
now.
Yeah, the Labubu's now.
And you know, like you said, once when something was old, now it's new again.
Yeah.
And in style, they seem to roll back into style.
It does. It goes out and comes back. Like records. You know how records...
Vinyl's back.
He loves records.
Yeah,
Vinyls
yeah.
are back.
They fell
Record
off
players,
for a bit, but now
They're
everybody's
back.
going
They're selling
crazy
them on
over-
now. Amazon, the
Vinyl's back.
turntables.
Are back.
Isn't it crazy? I'm glad because
Cassette tapes.
yeah,
Set and VHS.
That's
you
crazy.
couldn't give VHS away. Now everybody's paying $100 for.
because I think
VHS
people
and
like, because the future is so techno crazy, like the technology. I think people look back to have that simpler
Yes.
life. You know what I mean? Where things aren't going 100 miles an hour. You
Right.
know. That's why I think that the record players are coming back, or the turntables.
Yes.
Do you have any turntables here? By the way?
We get them once in a while,
Once in a while.
but we do have a lot of cool records.
I have one.
Yeah.
So-
I have a Sony Direct Drive turntable
Oh,
from like 1983.
Love it.
Still in the original.
Oh, he
box.
talked about this last time too. He's obsessed.
But ask your last question. We're coming up.
Oh,
It's coming up.
I was just gonna say this is just it's a beautiful place. Lewiston is such a beautiful place, especially during the holidays. If you've never been to Lewiston, New York, come down this weekend.
Yes,
There's
please.
stuff for the kids. There's stuff for the parents. Or if you want to bring a date, right,
Oh,
Phil?
yeah.
If you want to bring a date,
Go
you could come
shopping,
down.
go out to
No
eat.
dates.
You could no dates. You could come down here.
I'll be sitting by myself.
You could come down here, get something to eat, walk around. The picture taking is just absolutely beautiful here.
Yes.
And
that's year round.
And year round.
Summer.
I just think at Christmas time there is no other place like here. And Richie's place right here is just absolutely stunning. The things that we're going to take
It is
time
stunning.
to look around, because you could have some time to come in. And, you know, if you're coming down with your grandparents, that might be something so cool to do with somebody older, because they might recognize, and it'd bring maybe that joy back and that smile back in their face to say, I had that when I was a
mother
kid.
had that, yeah,
Yeah,
my
you know what I
father,
mean?
right, yeah.
So, Richie, are there any last things that you want to tell us about your place? You know, and what are your hours? And now this weekend,
We
is
never even
the-
touched on what your hours.
yeah, what are your hours? And of course, this weekend, are they different, or what's going on? So tell us your hours.
Normally we're open 11 to 6 daily and 11 to 5 on Sundays. So
Okay.
we're open 7 days a week.
Wow.
Yep. Our phones are basically 24/7. You can call anytime if you have any questions. And like you said, we just love being in Lewiston.
Yeah.
It's such a great community. It really helps, having the local support and the local love, and people just know, hopefully they know to come here when they want that special treasure.
Yes.
Well,
And now's the time.
now is the time.
Now's
But-
the holiday
Gift
shopping.
giving.
Come down,
Yeah.
see Richie. He can help you out.
That's
right?
right.
Yes.
That's right.
Find that
Now's
special
the
gift.
time to get down here and explore. And
Yeah.
you're going to be in here for a while. So
Yeah.
come down and have a little fun this weekend and
Yes.
explore.
Bring your friends, grab a coffee
Yes.
and orange
Richie
cat.
Yes.
Come on over.
So much to do. All within walking distance.
Yes.
Yes.
Park and you can walk. And there's plenty of parking. You don't have to worry about that.
Right. Richie, thank you very much
Thank
for
you,
having us.
Richie.
Absolutely. You guys
This has
are
been
awesome.
amazing.
It's been amazing. We're here at Lewiston Estates and Antiques. The address is
621 Center Street in Lewiston, New York.
Richie.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it for Tee It Up with Phil and Cindy.
Tee It Up.
Come down to the Christmas walk. We'll be walking around a little
Yes,
bit.
we will.
We'll be there.
And don't forget to follow us
Follow us.
and have a very Merry Christmas.
Merry
Yes.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.